Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to lesson 3 in iReady Math. So, we are going to be talking some more about mental strategies. So, how to do math in our heads to solve a problem. Now, this week we're going to be talking about how we can make a 10 to help us with adding and subtracting, but thinking about how we can use those strategies without having to use our fingers or maybe without having to draw a picture. As you can see, though, it's going to show us how to use those strategies by putting a 10 frame in our head. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And it says, how can you make a 10 to add and subtract in your head? You know how to break apart numbers into tens and ones. You can break apart numbers to make a 10. Oh, Pizza Guy agrees. When you add or subtract in your head. So for example, in the number 17, we have one group of 10 plus 7 ones. And together that made 17. So 110 plus 7 ones is 17. And the number 19, we have one group of 10 and 9 ones. It says we can make a 10 to add. So it says add 9 plus 7. And if you look at our 10 frames, we have 2 10 frames because 9 plus 7 is going to make a whole bigger than 10. So we need 2. My 9 is red, so I have 9 red counters and 7 blue counters. It says think of 9 red counters and 7 blue counters on 2 10 frames. The first blue counter makes a full 10. So if you look really closely, we had 9 red counters. We used one of our 7 counters to make a group of 10. Now we can make that 10 and add the ones left over. So we had 9 plus 7. We used one blue counter to make a 10, and we had 6 ones left. So it wants us to think about our mental math strategies. So think about how we could use 7 as 1 plus 6. Okay, so we had 9 plus 1 plus 6 more. We break that 7 into 1 plus 6 so we can make a group of 10. So 9 plus 7. Oops. Pizza Guy, what's 9 plus 7? Do you guys hear him? He's being very chatty today. So 9 plus 7 can be the same as 9 plus 1 plus 6. We broke that 7 into 1 plus 6. So 10 plus 6 made 16. So that also means that 9 plus 7 will make 16. Kiss your brains. I know this is a lot of thinking, but I want you to try to put 2 10 frames in your head and think about how you can bust up one of the parts to help make a 10. So now we are going to subtract by making a 10. It says subtract 14 minus 6. Start with 14 counters. Put an X over the counters in the second 10 frame. So how many counters do we have in the second 10 frame? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But am I done yet? No, because I'm taking away 6. How many counters did I subtract to make 10? How many did I put X's over? I put 4. So I started with 14. I took away 4 to get to 10. How many more counters need an X to subtract a total of 6? So 4, how many more am I going to need to X out? 4, 5, 6. How many more did I have to X out to make 6? 2. Put in an X over this number of counters in the first 10 frame. Now it says for us to use the 10 frames to complete each equation. So we subtracted by making a 10 first. So we started by taking away the ones in our 2-digit number. So in 14, to get down to 10, we had to take away how many? How many did we take away the first time? We took 4 away. So 14 minus 4 got us to 10. Now, this is where our fact families become super helpful. So if I know that I needed to take 6 away from 14, I can think of 4 plus 2 to make 6, right? So 14, I know there's 1 10 and 4 ones. So if I take my 4 ones away, it gets me down to 10. Now I'm not done because I still have to take 2 more away. So I could take a total of 6 away. So now I'm thinking of my fact families. Okay, so 10 minus 2. Well, I know 8 plus 2 equals 10, right? Or 2 plus 8 equals 10. So if I have 10, I took away 2 more, and now I have 8. Okay, so subtracting 6 is the same as subtracting 4 and then subtracting 2 more. That's why we know those fact families, because if I can make a 10 in my head, it makes that strategy a whole lot easier with mental math. So 14 minus 6 equals 8. All right. We don't have partners to work with, but maybe you could work with your pet cat, or Carolyn, she has her pet rabbit, so maybe she could work with Marshmallow. And I know that Noah has some pet cats. Blueberry, I wonder if Blueberry would be really helpful. All right, guys, let's look at this one. It says, how can you make 10 to help you add 8 plus 7? Ooh. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to make 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm not done yet. I'm going to go ahead and set it up like I have an imaginary 10 frame. So pretend that I have a 10 frame over this. 8 plus 7 more. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to count on from 8 to help make a 10 with the 7 that I am adding. So I'm adding 8 plus 7. Now I'm going to count on after 8, 9, 10. I'm not done. I have 2. How many more am I going to need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's pretend that this is a 10 frame. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw it out so you guys can see it with me, because I can put this picture in my head, but sometimes it's really helpful if I just draw the picture, right? So I have 2 10 frames here. So 8 plus 7, it made what? I had 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 8 plus 7 made 15. But if we look at my 10 frames, I have my first part, which was 8. I added 2 more to make my 10. And how many more did I have? I had 5 more. So 8 plus 7 is the same as 10 plus 5. So we used our 8 and part of 7 to make our group of 10, and we counted the ones left over. All right, second grade Smarties, we are using those mental math strategies, and you know what? That helps us with our growth mindsets, because what can learners do? Hard things. Good learners do hard things. Maybe we need a different strategy to solve it. Miss Mason had to draw a picture. I drew some equations. I did some mental math in my head thinking about fact families. So think about what strategies work best for you. Maybe counting on with your fingers right now is best, but do what works best for you. Good learners do hard things. We all learn at different paces. All right, second grade Smarties, have a wonderful day. Keep working hard, and I will see you later.